0 in the sense this is what I will call it as a index. In the array, you will be storing more than one element of same type. Always you need to understand array index starts from 0. So if you are trying to join two arrays, so that process I will call it as a merging. Hello everyone, I welcome all of you to the yet another interesting session. That's going to be arrays. What exactly arrays? It's a Hindi word which we use to call the person who is sitting there. So who is that? Array ho idhar dekho. So is that? No, my dear students, you would have come across with this topic, a lot of time, in the C programming language or in any other programming language. Suppose if you have studied, but if you have not studied, yes, this is a session which will help you to understand the concept of arrays from the scratch. Let's start what I have in this session for all of you. So let's check. So guys, basically I will be starting with the basic definitions for arrays. This is going to be very, very simple and easy. Then followed by, I will also discuss how exactly in the memory we are representing the array is what I will show you. Then followed by, I will also help you to calculate the length of the array. Sir, is it so difficult to calculate the length of the array? No, my dear students, it's very easy. I'll show you that also. Along with that, I will also show you what is that I can perform in the array. That is what I will call as the basic operations. I will also discuss the different types of operations that we have with respect to the array. Is this the only topics that you are concentrating today? Along with this, I have some more topic which I will be discussing. So let's start without wasting much of your time. So the first thing that I have here is a definition. Before I get into this arrays, let me show you or let me discuss what exactly the concept leads to the concept of array. So what is the meaning of it, sir? Why do I need the array? So what is the reason that I have this array? So let's discuss that. You all know, suppose if I want to store a value that is going to be 10. So yes, what you guys will be doing, you will take a variable and you will store it. So now A is a variable, 10 is a value. You all know that. Sir, A is of what type? So this A is of type integer. Let us assume like that. So now my question to all of you is, how many values that I can store in the variable A? So your answer should be 1. Correct? Yes or no? Yes. I can store only one value. That is the drawback that I have here. Why do you call it as a drawback, sir? My question, you need to listen now. I need to store more than one element, but in a single variable. Can you all store it? Suppose if I have a variable called A, I need to store more than one value. So can you store it? No, it is not possible. Then how do I solve this problem? So to solve this problem, I have the concept called arrays. That is the beauty of arrays. In the array, you will be storing more than one element of same type. That is most important that you need to remember. So same type in the sense what? You are storing 10. Then after that, I will store 20.5. So this type is not matching. So this is integer type and this is float type. I cannot do that when it is an array. So that is what you need to remember. The second point. First point, more than one element you can store. Second point, it should be of same type. That is most important that you need to remember. So for all this value, the name will be 1. Same name. So that is A. That is the most important point that you need to remember with respect to the array. So by now, you would have understood. So what is the basic concept of array? Let's look at some of the points which I have put it on the slide. So guys, array is an ordered collection of elements. Ordered collection in the sense what? One by one. So you will be placing the elements. So that is what you need to remember. So fine, we understood ordered collection of elements of same data type. So please observe that is most important. I cannot have 10 and 10.5 or 20.5. I should have, if I'm having the data elements of integer, it should be of integer. If I'm having float, it should be of float. If I'm having character, it should be of character type. That is the most important point that they say. And it has got the common name. So that is what I will call it as a A. So this is the meaning of the definition that you should remember. So fine, moving forward to the next point. The elements are arranged one after the other in the adjacent memory location. One by one. So you will be placing the elements is what they will call it as a adjacent. So pakka is what I will call it as a adjacent to make it very clear to you. So fine, the next point, the elements are accessed by the numbers called subscripts. Sir, what is the meaning of subscript? So guys, please remember this point. I will be explaining with the example in the next slide. So let me not discuss this right away. I will be speaking about in detail in the next slide. So fine. So you understood what is the basic concept of array. Now I have different types of array. What are the different types of array that I have? So I have one-dimensional array, I have two-dimensional array, and I have multi-dimensional array. So in total, we have three different types of arrays. How many wickets you will have in the cricket? So you will have 3 wickets, right? So how many types of arrays we have? We have 3 types. That's what you need to remember. What do you call it as one-dimensional array? What do you call it as two-dimensional array? So let me discuss that in detail. So now, guys, I asked you to remember this point, subscripts. You will be accessing the element with the help of the subscripts or indices. What is that? So please observe. This is how my array looks like. Okay. So fine. What is this age? Age is the name of the array that I have given. Age is the name of the array. So fine. So what is this 5000? This is the memory address. What is this? This is the memory address. Oh wow, very beautiful handwriting. Correct? So this is the memory address of this location. This is the memory address of this location. So each memory location has got the address. That is what we have specified. Sir, do I need to specify? No, you don't have to specify. Automatically it will be specified. That is what you need to remember. Ignore this part. Whatever we have, you just ignore. For your understanding, this is what we call it as a memory representation. So for your understanding, I have just mentioned it here. But usually, so this part is very, very important. So what is this age in the sense this array? Okay, the complete array I will call it as the age. So age of 0. What is this age of 0? 0 in the sense this is what I will call it as a index. This is what I will call it as a index, subscript, or indices, whatever you have mentioned in the previous slide, right? So that is what I will call it as an index. Sir, using the index of the array, I will be accessing whatever the element that you have specified inside this location. Say for example, I have specified 10. How do I access 10? So I will write age of 10. Is it? Can I specify like this? No. So please understand this is wrong. So you have to write the name of the array, that is age. Then within the bracket, I should write only the index. What is the index of this location? 0. So this is equal to 10. So now I have 20. So how do you access this 20? What do you write? So very good. So you will write the name of the array, that is age. Then you will write the square brackets. Then what is that you will write? You will write 1. This is equal to what? It is 20. So this is how you will be accessing the individual elements which is present in the one-dimensional array. Sir, you spoke about the name. You spoke about the index. But you did not mention, how do I get to know if this is one-dimensional array, sir? So please listen to me. One-dimensional array. So an array with only one row or column is what I will call it as a one-dimensional array. How many rows you have? So this is what I will call it as a row. So this is what I will call it as a column. So this is what I will call it as a column. So this is what I will call it as a row. How many rows you have? I have only one row. How many columns you have? I have only one column. So that is why I will call this as one-dimensional array. So hope you understood the basic concepts of array. Alright. So moving forward to the next slide. Sir, how do I declare or define array? What is the syntax for it? It's very simple, my dear students. Let me teach you that. Let me show you that. Okay. Listen to me carefully. The syntax for the array is, first of all, you have to write the data type. Suppose I want to create the integer type array. So first, according to the syntax, what should I write? I should write the data type. I will write int. What is that I will write? Int. Let me change the pen color. Okay. So I will write int. Int is what here? Data type. Then after that, array name. So let me take the array name as A. Okay. What is the name of the array? A. So can I write age? Yeah, whatever you want, you can just write it. So this is the name of the array. Then followed by, observe, you have to write the square bracket. I will write the square bracket. Only then you will be specifying the size of the array. Sir, size of the array in the sense capacity of the array. How many elements that you are going to store inside the array is what I will be calling it as a size of the array. That is what you need to remember. If I have mentioned 10 as a size of the array, I will be able to store 10 elements in the array. So that is what you need to remember. So find the maximum number of elements that our array can hold. Sir, that is what you need to remember. Sir, why you have mentioned this maximum number? What is the meaning of it? Suppose if I have mentioned it as 10, is it mandatory that I have to fill in 10? No. Up to 10, you can fill in any numbers. Sir, I will fill 4. Yeah, you can do it. I will fill 5. You can do it. But can I fill 10 or 11 or 12? No. That's what you need to remember. So 10 you can, but more than 10 you cannot. So that is what you need to observe with the size. Moving forward to the next one, calculating the length of the array. How do I do it? So please observe carefully. I have something called, a lot of things I have very complicated. You just have to remember only this. This is the formula. So guys, if you want to calculate the length of the array, so please observe UB city minus LB plus 1. UB city? No, it is not UB city, it is only UB. What is this UB? Upper bound. What is this LB? Lower bound plus 1. What is the meaning of it, sir? Observe this example. Okay, so guys, this is the index that I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me just show you the array so you will understand. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so this 0 is what I will call it as a lower bound. This 4 is what I will call it as a upper bound. Alright, so what is the value that I have in the upper bound? 4. Observe here. So that value, upper bound value is 4. Maximum, last value is what I will call it as a upper bound. So what is the value? 4. Let me just write that. 4. Okay. Then after that minus lower bound. So last value from beginning. Always you need to understand array index starts from 0. That is what you need to remember. Lower bound will be 0 always. So it is 0 plus 1. So what is the length of the array? So it's going to be 5. Okay. So I did it correctly. So that's how you'll be calculating the length of the array. Alright, moving forward to the next topic. Basic operations that I can do. Lego operation, hand operation, eye, stomach, all those operations. We are trying to do it with array. So, but they have given it as a different names. So what are the different names that we have given? Observe here carefully. So this is going to be one of the important question for your examination point of view. So please make a note of it, my dear students. The first thing that I have is traversing. Traversing. So traversing in the sense travel. Okay. So you're not in the one place. So you are traveling from one place to another place. The same way. Imagine this is the array. Okay. This is the array. If you are visiting each and every element from one item to another item, so that process is what I will call it as a traversing. But same thing, they have given it in a different way. Processing each element in the array one by one. So that is what they are calling it as a traversing, or visiting each and every element one by one in the array is what also what we call it as a traversing. So fine. Insertion, you all know, if you are trying to insert an element inside the array, that is what we call it as a insertion. So especially new element. Alright. So the next one, I don't have to tell you, you are trying to remove an element from the array. That's what we call it as a deletion. Searching, so you are finding the location of an element in the array. So where exactly that particular element is stored in the array. So you are trying to find the location of the array. That is what I will call it as a searching. Sorting in the sense you are trying to sort the elements of an array either in ascending order or in the descending order. That is what I will call it as a sorting. That's what they have mentioned it as, arranging the elements of an array in a some order, in the sense either it is in the ascending or it is in a descending, increasing order or in the decreasing order. So if you are placing the elements, so that is what we call it as a sorting. Say for example, I have 10, 50, 40 and 15 and 20. Is it in a, do I need to perform sorting? Yes, I need to perform sorting. So suppose, imagine, I will do it. I'll perform the sorting now. So 10, okay, then after that 15, come on everybody, 20, then I have to write 40 and then 50. So after performing the sort operation on my array, my data looks like this. So this is what we call it as a sorting. Hope you understood. Merging, so please understand what is this. Okay, no double meanings. Combining one or more arrays to form a single array. I have two arrays, imagine, I have two arrays. Okay, so if you are trying to join two arrays, so that process, I will call it as a merging. So that's what you need to remember. It's going to be a very important question, operations of arrays. Hope you understood, and very simple, right? Going forward to the next one. Why do I need arrays? What are the advantages of arrays? My dear students, listen to me carefully. So the first advantage of using arrays is it is used to represent multiple data items, as we have already discussed. Multiple data items, more than one data items of same type. That's the first advantage. Okay, you all know about it. Second point, it can be used to implement the data structures like linked list. I have already shown you what is linked list in the previous class. So linked list can be done with the help of array. So that's a most important thing that you need to remember. Sir, what is the meaning of it? I have a bricks. I'm discussing a concept called bricks. Bricks is arrays now. Then I have a building. Okay, in that building I have a room. I have a hall. All those things I will call it as a different data structures. Hall can be built with the help of bricks. Room can be built with the help of bricks. Okay, a lot of things can be built with the help of bricks. What is that lot of things? So this is what I'm going to discuss now. I can make the linked list with the help of bricks, that is arrays. I can make stacks with the help of arrays. I can make queues with the help of arrays. I can make trees with the help of arrays, graphs with the help of arrays. All these things can be implemented with the help of arrays. That's the most important advantage of discussing and understanding the concept of arrays, right? So fine. Two-dimensional arrays are used to represent the matrices. Matrix, not mattress, matrix. Okay, so that's what you need to remember. You all remember something like this in the PUC, probably you would have studied, right? Rows into columns. So I can implement this with the help of two-dimensional array. I will discuss this, okay, in the coming slide. What is two-dimensional array? Two-dimensional array in the sense what? I have rows and columns, right? So I will discuss that. Okay, that's the most important advantage that we have here. Many databases includes one-dimensional array whose elements are records. So that's one of the most advantage that we have. So most of the database uses one-dimensional array to store the records. So in one row, okay. Say for example, I will assume my data are getting stored in the form of tables. Okay, imagine this is a student table. What is the table name? Not dining table, student table. Okay, so fine. Here I have serial number, I have name, I have age, and I have let's imagine phone number. Okay, so sir, Udigir number bariri sarile. No, only boys number. First, I have serial number, that is 1. Okay, let me just write ABC. Age is 18. Phone number is something. Observe, my record is stored in one-dimensional array. That is what they are trying to say here. So like that, I will have 100 students. Each student record will be stored in one dimension. That is one-dimensional array. That's a beautiful thing that you need to remember. That's the advantage of using array. All right. So moving forward to the disadvantage. What are the disadvantages that we have? We must know in advance, very useful thing. Remember this. We must know in advance how many elements are to be stored in the array, because after that I cannot change. Once I implement that, I cannot increase or I cannot decrease the size of the array. That's the drawback. Okay, array is static structure. That's what they are trying to say. Okay, with this point, static in the sense you cannot, it's fixed. You cannot increase or you cannot decrease. That's the most important thing that you need to remember here. So it means to say that array is of fixed size. All right. So the memory which is allocated to the array cannot be increased or decreased. In one single point they have divided it into 3 and they are trying to explain the same concept. That's what you need to remember. Array size is fixed. You should know before you are trying to implement that. That's going to be the very important point with respect to the array, because that's the drawback of array. So fine. A beautiful representation of arrays. Guys, wow, very wonderful diagram that I have. Let me see for 2 minutes. Okay, beautiful it is. Guys, I already told you, so two-dimensional array looks like a matrix, right? So fine. What is this? What exactly that I have here? Observe what I have here. What I have written is, the name of the array is A. Name of the array is A. So please observe, when I have this array, I have 2 dimension, okay? So what is that I have? Okay, so one is specifying the row, another one is specifying the column. What exactly it means? Observe carefully. The location of this two-dimensional array can be specified by A of 0 of 0. That is what you need to remember. Sir, how? Because this is 0 and this is 0. So A of 0 of 0. So gives me this location. So can you tell me for this? Obviously A of 0, because 0th row, okay, and column number 1. So this location 0th row, that is 0, column number 2. So if it is 3, so what you would have written? A of, come on, 0th row, column number 3. So this is how you will access the location in the two-dimensional array. So now, so can you tell me this? What you will tell me with this? So what is the row here? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this, how do you tell me? So this is 1. Row A of 1 in the sense, this is row. Okay. So this is column. So what is the column? 0th column. Understood here? Now, what is that you will understand now? So this first one, always I will mention the row. Second one is column. Address of row and column. So now, can you tell me this? So what is the address? So A of first one. What is the first one that you will mention? Row. Row in the sense 1. The next column. So column is also 1. So this is how you will mention the two-dimensional array. That's what you need to remember here. So two-dimensional array elements are stored in the continuous memory location. It can be represented in the memory using any of the following 2 ways. What is that 2 ways? 2 ways in the sense, I have 2 different ways. That is row measure and column measure. Usually we give the location address like this, but I can store the data in 2 different ways. One is row measure, another one is column measure. Observe, this is my two-dimensional array. Okay, so this is my two-dimensional array. Suppose if I am mentioning that in the row measure, okay, row measure in the sense, first I will mention this row and then I will mention this row. Row wise I will be mentioning. Observe here. So first element, what I have? So A11, okay, so fine, I have A11. Second one is what? A12, okay. After that A13. What is the next one that I have here? Observe, I'm starting it from here. So A21, A22, A23. So row wise if you are mentioning, so first row and second row, that I will call it as a row measure. Suppose if you are mentioning in a column measure, okay, that is column wise. How do you mention? Observe this part, okay. So first I will mention this A11, next I will mention A21. Do I have like that? Yes. The next column is A12. Do I have A12? Yes, I have. After that A22. Yes, I have A22. Then what do I have in the last column? A13, A23. So this is what I will call it as a column measure. I can represent the two-dimensional array in 2 different ways. One is row measure, another one is column measure. That's what you need to observe here. The last one, I think I've already told you. Suppose if you want to access this, value, how do you access? What is the address? We have already discussed. Okay, so what is that we tried? Okay, 812. So observe here, A12. To access that A12, So first, 0 in the sense what? This is a row. What is this one? Column. That's what you need to observe here. So it's in the 0th column. Okay, is it? No, 0th row, column number 1. So that's how you will be accessing the particular value. That's what we have mentioned it here. All right. So this is the basic information that you need to remember with respect to the arrays. So guys, hope I've made it very simple and clear to all of you to understand the concept of arrays. So see you in the next class. I will be discussing some of the important topics in the next class. Till then, happy learning. Bye bye. Take care.